Hi y'all, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today guys, we are finally sitting down to play with the Fantasy Cosmetica Cradled in Ice palette. I got this about a week ago, and I've been having technical difficulties with shooting, so I haven't been able to film with it, but I've kind of got them somewhat resolved, at least for the time being, so I can get this video out to you guys. So it's a little bit late. The release was this week, I believe, on the 16th, I believe. So it's still a relatively new release, but I know everyone was getting their videos up, and I was feeling a bit of FOMO because I could not get my video up. Also, if you hear noise, my window is open. I turned my air off, but the window is open because it is boiling in here. So if my skin looks like extra glowy, first of all, thank you. But also just know that it's probably sweat. you know, girly things. So yeah, let's get into this palette. And I also have a couple of other things that I received from Fantasy Cosmetica that came with the palette that I will show you guys. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so before I show you the palette, I want to show you a couple of the things that I received as well from Fantasy Cosmetica. They also are releasing brushes. I did not get the whole set. I opted not to get the whole set because I am drowning in brushes at the moment, and I wanted to get ones that I knew that I would actually maybe get some use out of. So I decided to opt for 3 of their brushes. So I first picked up the F04, and this is what it looks like. How pretty is this? And this will be great for powder. I'm probably going to wind up powdering throughout this video because I am sweating. So yeah. And then I also picked up this really cool brush that is an EO4, and look at the cute little, the way it's fanned out. I just feel like this, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I was so intrigued by the shape of it that I was like, I don't have anything like that in my collection. So I decided to pick that one up. And then I got the EO2, which is tiny and perfect for like outer corner work, especially if you have hooded or slightly hooded eyes or smaller eyes. These type of brushes are just invaluable to have. So I'm probably going to use this one. I don't know if I'll be incorporating these. I'll probably use this for some powder because my face makeup is already done. But I do want to dip into this one and see what I can do with this brush. I also picked out 2 of their single press pigments. I got the shade, and I'll take it out here. It's still in its little container. I have swatched these already, but I want to show you what they look like. They're so pretty. So this is the shade Leah or Laya. How pretty is that? And I will swatch that on my hand for you. So it looks like that. How pretty is that? And I've actually used, I'm not gonna lie, I've already used the palette and these shadows. So none of this is a first impressions. This is just like I want to show you guys on camera and do a look with them and give you my thoughts. And it kind of worked out that I wasn't able to film with it immediately because I was able to actually use the palette a couple of times. So I kind of know how I feel about it. And I can sit down and give you sort of more than just like a first impression. The next shadow that I got in the singles is this one here, and it is just stunning. And this is called, oh, almost dropped it. It is called Boreas. I will swatch that next to this one on my hand. And this one is a little sheer in tone, but really pretty. This is something I would use more like as like an inner quarter highlighter. It has some color to it, and you could probably layer it on like over like a green. I think it would be really pretty under a green or a blue, and it would give that green that's sort of lurking underneath would really shine through. I've only used it as like an inner corner highlighter. So those are the 2 singles that I picked up. I opted not to grab all of them. I don't need a bunch of singles. I'm actually not that much of a single shadow girl. So if I get single shadows, I try to make sure that they're shades that I actually know I will reach for and that I will give love to and attention to. So I feel like those were the 2 that I was like, you know, actually, I can make this work. They do stain a bit, but at least the reddish one does. But, you know, you can wash your hands. It'll be fine. All right, so let's get into the palette. You've seen what it looks like, I'm sure, before by now, but this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. And I can tell you now what shades that I've tried already. So I've used, let's see, I've used Adore, I've used Hideaway, I've used Snuggle, and I've used Frost. So I've used this one, and this one, this one, and this one. I have not used any of the others. I've swatched the metallics, of course, but I haven't used any of the super deep shades, and I haven't used that really pretty pink called Hatchling. So I think what we're gonna do, I've already primed my eyes. If they look a little stained, it's because I was filming another eyeshadow video. So, you know, that's just the realities of filming multiple videos. But I think I'm going to do a look on each eye, a different look on each eye, just so I can show you what this palette can do. So I think I'm going to do something really deep on one eye and then something kind of soft and light and fluffy and airy on the other. How does that sound? I think it sounds amazing. Let's get into it. All right, so zooming you guys in. And I have some brushes here already because like I said, I was filming, and so I have all of my accoutrements out and about. I'm going to use my Sigma Switch, and I have a Rephr 15. And I think for this look, we're going to do something kind of, I'm going to play in this little section here, these four. I feel like I want to do something with those and maybe incorporate a little bit of snuggle in there. We'll see. So I'm going to go in with Adore on this Rephr 15, and I'm going to go in my crease, and this reads quite light on me. As you can see, how pretty is that? But it's so pigmented and blends beautifully. I had never used Fantasy Cosmetica until until I went to the Creators and Friends event in New Orleans, and they were one of the people who kindly gifted us like products, and I got to try the Druid palette, which is the one other palette that I have. Well, I have another palette that I have from them, but I'm not actually going to use that because I think I'm going to include it in a giveaway. But so I haven't actually touched that one or tried it. But with Druid, it was right up my alley. Like, I was just like, when I opened it, I was like, yes, yes. And I wound up using it that very night, and it was so easy to use. That palette, like the matches blended so beautifully, and I was just like, oh, okay. Because I do use indie makeup, but I wouldn't say I'm like an indie makeup connoisseur, you know. I'm just, you know, I kind of use what I like, and then so it's been fun to try these other brands that I've never tried before and really get to know their formulations. I'm now going to go in with a Rephr 14, if I can find one. Where you at? Hello. So we're going into Hideaway, which is that slightly deeper purple tone. I'm putting that in the outer corner, and then I'm going to take it over into the crease. And of course, you know, guys, I'm filming later in the day because they were doing construction. You know, it's 85 degrees here today, and people, when it gets 85 degrees in Chicago, all bets are off. People lose their minds because, you know, it's cold here a lot of the time. So people just get a little excited. You know, I'm going to go back into Adore, and I'm actually going to blend that up a little bit higher, closer to my brow bone. I've been really enjoying doing this, where I'm taking my shadows just a little bit higher than I normally would. It's actually quite pretty, in my opinion. So yeah, so we're going back in with Hideaway, and now I'm going to take this pretty little Fantasy Cosmetica EO2, and I'm going to dip into Layer. And that is this super deep, like plummy purple tone. And I'm really just taking that right. And I know this is going to be pigmented because having used this palette and used the Druid palette, I know that their deep tones are incredibly pigmented. So I'm just going in with a little bit, and I'm building it up, 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 up in the outer corner. I'm not doing a whole lot. I'm not taking a whole lot of product. I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm just dipping and then tapping my brush to take any excess off and then layering. Because again, this is a deep tone, and if you're ever one of those people who gets scared of deep tones, just go use a little bit and build it up. You don't have to go ham right away. And as you can see, I'm taking it further and further inwards because I actually do want this more on my lid than the lighter tones. So, but I'm doing that slowly. This brush is really nice. It's picking up easily. All right, now I'm going to take a different brush. I'm going to swap this one out for now. And I'm now going to take a brush. I'm going to take the number 2 and I'm going to go back into layer and dip. And this is going to fill out the rest of that lid because I need to pack that on to get that oomph that I'm looking for. Like that. Beautiful, beautiful. And then I'm just going to take it in. And this brush is really great for like, it does, even though it packs on shadow, it can blend the shadows pretty well as well. So you can get a little bit of blending out of it. How pretty is that? All right, I'm going to go back in with my 14 and I'm going to go back into Hideaway. And I'm just going to take that to help blend out the edges of this purple and make it a little bit softer. Perfect. And now, what do I do for my lower lash line? Or do I want to keep it kind of like this? I think I want to do something, but I don't know what. And my concealer is quite dewy. So let me just powder. I don't normally powder under my eyes, but since I'm using really deep shades and I'm about to go in with under my lower lash line, I don't want it catching. So I'm just going to powder that really quickly just to give it something to grab onto and not get stuck, you know? But yeah. I love this concealer. This is the Salt New York Best Case Concealer, and I don't set my concealers generally, and this one is probably the dewier of the concealers that I own. So if you are, I would say if you're going to use something that's kind of deep, just set it, because it is quite dewy. All right, I'm taking this little baby rougher, number 23. I'm going back into, actually, okay, we're going into the blues. Actually, we're going to go into the blues. We're going to use Nest, because I don't think I'm going to use this deep purple, this deep navy on my other look. So I want to use it now while I can. So we're going to go into it on the lower lash line here. And I'm using a small brush because you can build it up. It's easier with dark shades to just use a smaller brush because it gives you more control. And then if you need to build it up, you can. But if you go with a fluffier brush with a dark shade, you're just asking for trouble, my friends. All right, we're going to go into Glacial, which is this one here. So this is like the mid-tone blue. Tap my brush off. And let's go in here. And I still have some fallout from that blue even with this smaller brush. So I just say be careful. Go slow. Here we go. And now I'm going to take the shade Snuggle. I'm going to use my switch here though and take some of this off. And we're going to go into Snuggle. And Snuggle, it's not the most groundbreaking choice, but I feel like we can use that other shade in the other look that we're going to do. So these are very flaky. I'm just letting you know. Wet your brush if you are looking to get in, or use like a glitter glue or something, but they are very flaky. And we're just going to put that here in the outer corner. Like so. How pretty is that? And then I think I'm going to take this shade Embrace, this one here, on this same brush. And this is more, it's not as flaky. It's got a bit more dimension than like a traditional metallic, but it's not a flaky shade. This one is a bit more firmly pressed. I'm going to dip into that with my brush. I'm going to take that on the lower lash line as well. And I'm going to take that over the blue a little bit because I might actually take it up here into this area as well. Super like soft. You really would only be able to see it probably in person, but I just want to see what it does. So I'm actually taking it over the lash line like so. And as you can see, I do have some fallout here, which is not unusual for me when I use deep blues. It's one of the reasons why I kind of shy away from dark blues, because on me, they always wind up doing that. But for the purposes of today's video, guys, I will absolutely use it for you. All right, so that's done. I'm going to see if I can take some of this off. That is a negative ghostwriter. Let's just do it with it. There we go. That's better. All right, I'm going to put some mascara on this eye, and then we will, you know, I'll come back with my thoughts and we'll get started on the next eye. All right, guys, so mascara's on. I had a little bit of a little boo-boo with my mascara, but I think I fixed it. I'm just going to wipe my hand off here. But yeah, I think I fixed it, and this is the finished look with this eye. And you know, I don't wear looks this dramatic out anymore. Very often, it's usually, if I do, it's usually, sorry, kicking the camera by accident. It's usually, you know, for a special occasion. This is not like an everyday look for me. But it's always fun to do these kind of looks. Let's hold for the sirens. All right, so I'm powdering under this eye. Because I want to, you know, get ahead of the game. And then let's get started on the other eye. And this eye, I feel like I want to do something soft and cloudy and just like, it makes me think of like candy clouds or something, you know, I want to do something like that. So we're going to go in with this shade Hatchling. We're gonna do something with that. That's the shade that's caught my eye. And then I was like, I really want to play with that shade. And I haven't yet. I've been saving it just for you guys. I was like, I'm gonna do something on camera with this. I'm not gonna use it. So we're gonna pick Hatchling. And I'm actually just gonna put Hatchling in my, and I'm using my Rougher 15. I'm really just taking that on the outer part of my eye. How pigmented is that? And this is quite a light shade. But it is showing up on me. So I'm taking that into my inner corner, and then I'm going to take a smaller brush. Probably the Rougher 14 again. And we're going to take some of this shadow off of that. And we're going to take that on the lower part. So I'm going to take it down here. Take it into the inner corner and down, and it's just going to be really soft and pretty. But this isn't the entire look. Although it totally could be. And I've really been into like doing colorful like inner parts of the eye and keeping the rest of it really soft, you know? I mean, this is pretty soft, but you know what I mean. The impact being all here and not out here. Like, sort of like this one is, well, the impact on this is everywhere, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to do that. And then I think I'm going to take a door. I think I will take just a teeny tiny bit of a door into the crease here. You see how little bit of that I'm taking because I don't want it to overpower because the door itself is quite pigmented. And then I'm taking Hatchling further. Like that. And then I'm going to take, should I take Frost? Or Crystal? I think I'm going to do Frost. So I have this on my fingers. I think I'm actually going to use what's on my finger. Because I don't want it to be too intense as far as like building it up with a brush. I just want it there on the lid. Like so. And then I'm going to dip into Hatchling again. And I'm going to just go over the edges of that so they blend well. And then I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. I'm going to use my Pencil Pro for this. And I'm going to go back into Hatchling. And I'm usually really just doing this, using these two shades. I'm just trying to like build out the eye by using minimal shades. Because I think it's really cool when you can do really colorful looks and not use a ton. Like you don't have to use every shadow in the palette. You can do really interesting, fun looks with one or two, you know? Taking some more Frost in that outer part of the eye, the lid rather. And I'm just patting that. Then I'm going to take it a little bit further up. Not completely in the crease, but more on the outer part of the eye. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some mascara on, but I'm only going to put it on the top lashes. So I'll be back. Okay guys, so I am back. I've only put, like I said, I've only put mascara on the top lashes. You can do both and I can show you what that looks like. I just wanted to see because I wanted to do something that really kept the eye open. And sometimes when you put mascara on the lower end upper lashes, they can kind of close the eye out. It can make the look more dramatic, and if you want to keep your light and airy. It also can depend on what mascara you use. Right now I'm using a mascara that is quite wet and quite dramatic, so I have to be really careful. So I put a little bit, but as you can see, I mean, these are very different looks, but they're both colorful, just in different ways. But yeah, so this is the look on this eye, and I used 3 shades. I used Hatchling, a little bit of Adore, and then Frost, which is the shimmer that you see all over the lid. So yeah, so this is what this eye looks like. I'm gonna try not to get shimmer all over my face. And that's what this eye looks like. And I love them both. I will say I'm more in this mode, and I feel like I'm gonna do this for work this week. I think I might do this look. I've been waiting to use this shade just because I want to use it on camera, but now that I've used it, I can use it in real life, you know. So yeah, these are the finished looks, guys. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below, guys. What do you think of these looks? Which one is your favorite? Yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.